Okay, so now that we went over our open loop scenario, let's go into our closed loop and explore this a little bit more. And let's actually jump into our boost tuning page here. So we're going to be utilizing this a little bit better here. So if we jump up into setup, main setup, and we're going to be jumping into our outputs control. Now, if we want to switch it from open to closed loop, we're going to go here and select closed loop. Now, the closed loop is going to be a little bit different than the sport series. It's going to be a little bit more in-depth, and I find that it works much better. The Pro plugin boxes have a much faster processor, and they seem to be much more accurate at controlling boost. So I usually tune an open loop, but in situations where I know a car may see or experience large seasonal changes in operation, and the air temperature is going to be huge swings, so we can go from summer to fall, and the ability for it to go ahead and vary boost is going to be there, then closed loop might be something that makes more sense. Now, what I recommend you do, since we were in open loop, I actually recommend that you do your baselining in open loop. So let's just jump back in real quick, and then we'll get back into our closed loop. So we had our open loop table here, and normally what I do if I'm going to do a closed loop routine is that I keep it in open loop in my base duty table here. I zero out any correction table because my engine at this point, if I'm on the dyno, it's going to be warmed up. I'm not going to want to have any correction offset modifier. I want to just simply figure out whatever duty cycle equals whatever PSI. So for example here, if I baseline it at 0% output duty cycle from the table here, I'm going to be looking what my map pressure gives me for a reading. And let's just say at 0% duty cycle, I had 10 pounds of boost. And then I go in here and I put 10% duty cycle, and I see that it gives me 11 pounds of boost. And then I type in here 20% duty cycle, and that gives me 14 pounds of boost. And then I type in 30%, and that gives me, let's just say 16. And then I keep going on. And maybe I want to go up to 30 pounds of boost, and it ultimately took me 75% duty cycle to get to 30 pounds of boost. Now, once I have figured out that duty cycle to boost correlation, I'm going to go in, I'll just zero this out, and then I'll jump into my setup here, then I'll go into closed loop. Now, the reason why I choose to do it in this manner is because I'm going to be able to go and set up my feed forward table very accurately. We're going to be checking that out here in 1 second. So the more or the better that we can define our feed forward table, the better this PID control is going to work.